Welcome back to Living with Sickle Cell with O5. I'm your host, O5, and this is episode three. Episode three, and we have the lovely Lannette from Massachusetts, right?
hmm
Yes, okay. If you could just tell us a little bit about yourself or anything that you would like the sickle cell community to know.
Um, there's not a whole bunch to say, really.
Uh,
I'm kind of like a really big homebody. I don't really leave the house much. But I love spending time with my friends, my family, if I ever can.
okay.
Um, and I just try my best to live the best life I can without sickle cell affecting it at all, if that's
Right.
possible.
All right. Definitely understand that. How old are you?
I'm 26,
26? Okay. When's your birthday?
July 31st.
Oh, okay. That makes
Just
you
turned 20.
okay. All right. What sign does that make you?
Leo.
Leo. Okay, okay. All right, all right. So let's talk about this sickle cell a little bit. Which genotype do you have?
So I have sickle cell SC.
SC. Okay. And do you know the
Mhm.
differences between the SC and the SS or
I know it has to do with the hemoglobin, and I know
Mhm.
that usually when you have SS, both parents have the trait. But for me, my dad has the trait, and my mom has abnormal hemoglobin C, and
Mhm.
that's how I ended up with sickle cell SC.
Got you. Got you. Got you. Got you. Okay.
Mhm.
And did your parents, do you know if they like knew about, if they have a baby or a child and their baby will have it or they just didn't know?
Before me, I don't think so, but
Okay.
I got siblings, so
Okay.
it didn't stop them.
Got you.
But I don't think so. I think my dad knew he had the trait, but
Mhm.
I don't know if my mom knew about her hemoglobin at all. So
Mhm.
I don't think that they even really thought about that when they had
Right.
me.
Okay. Are you the youngest, oldest?
I'm the oldest.
Oldest. Okay then.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay. How was that? Do you like being the oldest or
Eh, Comes with like some good things and some bad
bad
things.
things?
um,
Right.
but I mean, it's fine. I have like a whole bunch of half siblings, but I mostly live with my full siblings.
Hmm.
And none of them actually have sickle cell. As far as I know, none of them have the trait. Um,
Uh,
so it's just me.
just you.
Uh,
Okay. Well, that's all
yes,
right.
it's
That's okay.
hard. Yeah, it's kind of hard because I want to be like that typical big sister, but also I have sickle cell, so that role kind of got thrown on to the next kid.
Gotcha. You could still do it though.
Yeah.
I understand that. Okay, let's talk about your hospital visits if you don't mind. So do you go to like one hospital like every time you have a crisis?
I try to.
Hmm.
Recently, I've been trying, kind of testing the waters of different hospitals because I just started adult, having adult doctors. I
Hmm.
used to go to Children's Hospital in Boston, but then when I graduated college, I aged out. So
Hmm.
I had to move on, and so I've just been trying to find a good hospital. But certain right now, I'm at one. It's fine, but um, there's another one that I may try out just because there's a really good hematologist there,
Hmm.
and I may jump ship for that hematologist if he's as good
Right.
as they say he is. I'm
Yeah.
jumping ship.
Okay. How do you get treated at the hospital? Like, do they know you by name, or is it like, oh gosh, like here goes another person with sickle cell, or
Now, well, at Children's, they all knew me by the time I aged out. But when I left, I was at a couple hospitals that was used to the sickle cell population. A lot of people with sickle cell would go there, but I didn't feel like they treated me that well. So I went to a hospital that actually has less sickle cell patients, and I feel like I'm being treated better there than at
Mhm.
the other hospitals. Um, and since they're small, they all know me by now. It took like 4 visits, and they were like, "Yep, we know who you are. We
Mhm.
see you a lot. You're
Right.
here. We're gonna try to treat you." Um,
Mhm.
but I haven't, since I'm in Massachusetts and we have good hospitals, I haven't really seen too much medical racism or
Mhm.
anything that people with sickle cell experience a lot in hospitals.
Mhm.
But I have experienced some. Massachusetts isn't
Yeah.
perfect,
Yeah.
but I have experienced some.
What's something crazy that you can tell us?
Um, I think my first time at an adult hospital, the first hospital I tried, was the longest stay I've ever had for just my sickle cell. It was 3 weeks long. They wouldn't allow me a PCA. I was on crutches at the time, and they were like, you can get to the bathroom by yourself, even though you have to bring that pole with you. It was the most insane stay I have ever had. I left not long after that, couldn't
Yeah.
stay, but I could not believe how I was being treated at the time. Because
Mhm.
children's was so great, I couldn't
It blew your
conceptualize it
mind.
in my
Yeah.
head. Yeah, it was like, how
Mhm.
are you saying that I should have Tylenol instead of Dilaudid right now?
You're
Like,
right.
how? I just told you I'm on level 8 out of 10 pain.
Yeah.
What in what world does Tylenol help? In
Yeah.
what world does Toradol help? It was the
Yeah.
craziest
I
thing.
always say, yeah, you were. I
Oh,
always say the doctors or nurses, they should have their little family come in and just try having sickle cell for 5 minutes, and you will see, what that pain
mhm.
feels like. That's what I always say because they don't understand. Like, oh, here's a pill, or you want to go home? Like, bro, I can't even walk right now.
Yeah. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness. And
it
I've
sucks.
been crazy with my sickle cell, but
Mhm.
sometimes I'm just like they just don't understand.
Yeah, no. So, do you have a port?
No, I don't. I want one.
Okay. Are you a hard stick?
I got dots all over my arm to prove it.
Yep.
I have
Same. Yeah.
bruises all over my arms to prove it.
Why won't you get a port? Like, why?
It's not that I don't want a port. It's that I started to realize that I was going to the hospital more often. I never needed one until very recently, actually.
Mm.
Um, but when I started to realize it's going to get harder to get stuck, I started to think about one, and I finally am like, okay, I want one. But
Mhm.
each time I tell a doctor I'm getting the runaround, like not a single person is trying to say something super concrete enough for me to follow off of. And so I haven't gotten one because of that. It's the only reason so far.
Oh, oh my gosh. We got to get you a port. We have to get you a port.
I need one.
It's amazing. I'm trying to tell you, I used to get stuck 12 to at least 15 times every time going
See, I'm
ER.
trying not to get there. I'm trying not to get there.
It sucks.
Right now, it's about maybe 3 or 4 times before they can get
Hmm.
something. But I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't want to be like everybody else where they're like, they have to start getting Cotier or
Oh,
like,
don't do it. Yeah.
I'm like, I
Yeah.
refuse. I would rather
Mhm.
stay sick forever if I
Yeah.
have to get, I don't
Yeah.
like needles. So,
Yeah.
like, I want one
Mhm.
so bad
Yes.
because
It's one stick and done.
I'm so done.
What's the
Because,
craziest place you got stuck at?
um, I haven't gotten to get stuck super bad. I've been able to stay in my arms, in my hands.
That's good.
Um, but they've started to start do like midlines on me and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They don't do it super often anymore because I did get a blood clot from one. Um, but my upper arm is where they always go.
In the inside?
Sometimes they go for up here now. They go for
Yeah.
up here now. They don't like down here. I'm not even sure if
Mm-hmm.
the camera can pick them up, but like
Mm-hmm.
there's just dots just
Yeah. Yeah.
all over
Same.
here.
Same. Yeah.
There's not that many places, so like they
Yeah.
turn my arm in like specific ways to get like
Hmm.
a new spot they've never had before.
Yeah.
My hands are basically empty because this is where they draw blood all the time.
Hmm.
I can get blood drawn from here. I can't get
Yeah.
IVs from here
Nope.
anymore.
Yeah.
IVs are done.
Yeah. No, no, yeah. So are they doing the ultrasound machine on you with the
Hmm.
midline? Yeah. Okay.
When I go
Yeah.
to the infusion center, they don't even touch me unless the ultrasound people like
Hmm.
are late. But
Right.
then they use like this other thing where they can see the veins like right below.
Hmm.
So then
Yeah.
they don't have to search. They started doing that. They just like, you know what? I hear a heart stick. You shouldn't have to discuss 10 times. Let me
Nope.
just call them before we
Yeah.
even start anything. They
Right.
just know now. That's what's
Yeah.
great about the small hospital is the doctors and nurses, they all know you.
Yeah.
Even
Facts.
after you've been there for like a few times,
Hmm.
you've been there enough for them to know you're a patient that'll
Yep.
be here at the time. So they just
Hmm.
know you to the point where they just have to ask one person
Yep.
if you
Oh,
haven't
I
met you.
know her. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's been the best thing because I haven't had that type of treatment since children's. So
Right. That's
it's
good.
been
Yeah, that's okay. That's good. That's good. I wish you many more
mm-hmm.
success with that. Okay, so quick question. What meds do you take outside of the hospital?
So I right now am on hydroxyurea,
Hmm.
Lyrica, nortriptyline, methadone. I take oxycodone as needed for pain.
Hmm.
I occasionally take Tylenol. I'm on vitamin B12, multivitamins. They don't always keep giving. They don't give me folic acid super often. I get it sometimes, but not often enough.
Hmm.
Um, I
Okay.
think that's it. But I also
Hmm.
think I don't have folic acid right now because I'm in between hematologists at the moment.
Got
So
you. Your
um,
hydroxyurea, is it 500, 1,000, or
it's 500. It's actually right
five?
next to me. Waiting for
Eh,
my food to get here so I can take
right? Yeah,
it.
that's what I was about to ask. How does it make you feel? Like,
um, it hasn't made me feel super awful just yet. I haven't noticed much of
hmm.
anything, though I do know they started me with 1,000 and I was in the hospital and they said my platelets were low. So then they took me off of that and put me down to 500. And I've
Hmm.
been fine ever since. But I don't like it because if I miss like an hour, like
Hmm.
I feel awful. I started because of my off sleep schedule now. I'm like, I'm just going to take it in the afternoons now instead of the
Hmm.
mornings because I'm so scared. Like, what's going to happen if I miss like hours on end without
Hmm.
taking it?
Yeah.
So I I
You
don't
just,
like
yeah.
to. That's the one medication I don't mess with. It's
Yeah.
the one I. All the other ones like an hour, it's
Yeah.
fine, whatever.
Yeah.
But that one
Yeah,
that
no. Yeah.
scares me. I don't like
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I
I don't.
understand
Yeah.
that. That's good. Okay. So every episode we have a topic. Last topic was dating with sickle cell. The first one was
Mm-hmm.
the genotype SC. This one will be mental health. So is there anything you wanna, touch on with mental health?
Um, I also want to try to touch on as much as possible. Like I'm still in like a depressive state right now. I'm pushing it today. um, because ever since like 2020, I got more sick than
Mm-hmm.
normal. So my life has flipped a whole 180. And it took like a really big hit on my mental health more than I ever thought it would.
Right.
Um, because I went from going to the hospital once a school year
Mm-hmm.
to going to the hospital every month and a half.
Mm-hmm.
Earlier this year was every 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I finally got a doctor that got me out of that, but it's been hard because each time I take 5 steps forward, sickle cell just finds a way to have me take 20 steps back.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that kind of really messes with your psyche. Like
Yeah.
to be somebody that could drive, who went to college,
Mm-hmm.
who finished college, like,
Yeah. Yeah.
somebody who took 12 or so classes a semester um, and still avoided the hospital to walking down my stairs and being out of breath and in so
Mm-hmm.
much pain that I just don't go downstairs and leave my bed anymore. Um, and it's like it's hard. Like recently, my mental health is just like you're gonna die soon, you know. Um, and my biggest fear is death.
Yeah.
I was raised Jehovah's Witness, and I don't follow the religion anymore. And death has been like the major thing that keeps a lot of them going. And because that's how I was raised, it still messes with my mental health. So
Hmm.
whenever I get sick, I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to die. And I'm like, and there's nothing else I can really do. My life is in these doctors' hands. And I'm always, at this point, I'm just grateful to be awake. I'm just
Yeah.
grateful to wake up every morning. With the mental health aspect, it's just like I don't, um, like because of like feeling pain plus not really wanting to move,
Hmm.
um, because you just don't feel like moving is worth it at this point.
Hmm.
Nobody really understands how hard it could be to just change like that. You could be
Yeah.
sickle cell, you could be fine one day and on your deathbed the next. And there's
Hmm.
something about that that messes with your psyche in ways that not many people can really relate to or imagine.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. How long have you been, going through this? Has it been a long time? Has it just recently, been worse?
Um, Off and on since about 2020, but recently the one I'm in, it was about a month or so ago
Mm-hmm.
that this started. But it's been very off and on since 2020.
Hmm. Do you know any like coping skills to help you, or do you talk to somebody, or like is it?
Oh, I want to say I have good ones. I don't know if they're good ones. I try to spend as much time with my boyfriend as possible.
That's
I try
good.
to spend time with my siblings. They know how to get me out of a depressive, spot sometimes, really. Um, I'm a big Disney, Marvel, Hunger Games fan. So books,
Okay.
movies, shows.
Mhm.
Um, I'm always marathoning something when this is happening. Right now, it's Vampire Diaries, apparently. Um,
Okay.
so I
Mhm.
have the past week. I'm already on season 4 or
Uh-huh.
5, I
Okay.
think. I can't remember, but I'm always I'm always trying to get my mind off of it in one way or another.
Right.
But I think what helps is I just have a really good support system, to be honest.
Hmm.
My
Okay.
family will not let me die in this bed.
That's
um,
good.
yeah, my mom, my grandmothers, my boyfriend, they've all been trying to get me out
Support.
of bed. Took my
Hmm.
first shower in weeks yesterday. uh,
Okay. That's
they're
good.
always making sure I have food or something. I'm
Hmm.
staying up. They're doing something. My mom has been making my appointments
Hmm.
and making sure that I get to them. Um,
Hmm.
I think a support system has been like the most helpful thing right now because if I were on my own, I have no idea where I'd be right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Family is important for sure. That's good. How would you say that, the mental health has affected your life, you think?
Um, it has made it a lot harder to keep up with anything important right now. I like if it weren't for my mom making my appointments, I'd miss every single one.
Hmm.
I wouldn't have any appointments. It's been hard to, you know, live like a person.
Hmm.
Um, I used to, I'm trying my best to work on a project to, help people with disabilities. And so far, I have not done a single thing that I need to do for it just because I just don't have the energy to do it. I don't have the energy to stay clean, which sucks. I hate it every single day. I don't have the energy to just get up and make food. Um, I have been wanting to try to see if I can find like a job that I could do that's simple and easy. I have not done that at all. Um, so it's like night and day. Whenever this happens, I just feel like all I can do is just sit here and do nothing. But
Mm-hmm.
when I'm fine, I am on the move. I'm doing whatever I can to make things happen.
Mm-hmm. Well, um, man, okay. What are some things you would recommend to, tell someone who's going through this to make them feel better?
Um,
Like a
this one,
younger
ever
lady.
since you gave me this question, I've been thinking of like something that I could, like good advice. The best advice I could really give is to try your best to find community. Is wherever you can find it, try to find community, whether it's through TikTok, whether it's through the hospitals that may have, sickle cell, um, like groups and stuff, or whether it's through family, friends. Do your best to
Mhm.
find community, because no one should have to go through this alone.
Do you do
It's
that
not easy.
also? Do you go through like try to find, support groups and all that stuff?
Yeah, I've actually been a part of some communities since I was about 11.
Oh, okay.
Um, when I was really sick at the age of 11, the social worker told my mom about this camp called Hole in the Wall.
Mm,
And I went there until I aged out. I went to the sickle cell sessions. I finally met people who had sickle cell, didn't know a single person with sickle cell
mm,
before that.
yeah.
But I would go there every year. I made
Mm,
one of my best friends. I met through Hole in the Wall. Lives right
mm.
down the street from me. We were
So,
so shocked to find that we lived in the same city.
right.
Um, and it's ever since then, I've just been getting opportunity after opportunity from things that are similar.
Mm,
Um, I did their Hero's Journey program, which is like camping, but glamping for people with
mm,
disabilities. And then I did Next Step, which is for adults who want to find community and learn more about how to take care of themselves as you're learning how to be an adult who's disabled.
mm,
So I've met so many friends who don't even have sickle cell, but their stories are so similar, couldn't even
mm.
tell. Um,
Okay.
so those are things I've been doing ever since. And now TikTok, I'm
Mm,
joining sickle cell lives left and right,
yeah.
just to talk to people who understand.
Yeah. That's good. The people who understand for sure. Yeah. Okay then. Okay. One more question for you. Well, not one more. A question for you. How has your life been growing up around people who don't have sickle cell?
It has been an interesting time. It
Yeah.
has been very interesting. Um, because honestly, my entire life, I like for the longest time, not really that many people in my life had sickle cell. So I'd had to explain a lot.
Yeah.
And it went from my classmates saying, "Wow, I thought you died. You were gone for so
What?
long." To finally having friends that were like, "Are you good? Are you okay? Like, you should not be in school right now. You look like you're in
Mm,
too much pain." To finally eventually having friends that, came to visit me in the hospital. Because
mm.
growing up in school, I don't think I'd gotten more than two visits the
Oh man.
entire time.
Mm,
But it's still interesting because even though I have people who don't have sickle cell um, around me, none of them fully understand the experience.
mhm,
Like
mm.
when it comes to how emotional you can be because you're in so much pain that you don't have the energy to keep your emotions in check. So like
Yeah.
you may
Yeah.
say things that you don't fully mean or didn't
Yeah.
really want to say, or
Mhm.
you end up having an attitude when you didn't mean to have an attitude, or any of those
Right.
things. Like
Mhm,
there are things that are part of the experience that nobody else is really going to understand. And that's
mhm,
why I've been searching out for stuff like Hole in the Wall, friends on
mhm,
TikTok,
mhm,
because I realized very recently, I was like, wow, I need more people around me that have, like,
mhm.
that know the experience because this is hard. I can't do this
Yeah.
by myself.
No, for sure. Well, I'm gonna
Yeah.
let you know right now, I'm your friend. We just became friends. So
Thank you.
got my number, I got your number. When I'm in the hospital,
Mhm.
oh, I just stare at the wall. Like I just Just
Mhm.
it's very depressing. It can get very depressing. Trust me. I was depressed
I
bad for 4 months. So yeah.
I am trying to avoid the hospital like plague right now because I'm just like I know if I go to the hospital, this depression is going to get 10 times worse.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm in a like decent limbo spot
Yeah.
right now. Okay, you throw
Okay.
in the ER and
Yeah.
we're done. There's
Yeah.
no way. I'm avoiding it because no,
Yeah.
it's the only thing that gets me through it is joining you know lives with other people with sickle cell or talking
Right.
to because it's hard.
Yeah.
It's so
Yeah.
lonely.
It is. It is. It is. But if you need to go, you gotta go.
Yeah,
If you gotta
I
go,
know.
you gotta go.
If
Um,
it gets my pain gets worse, I will. I'm one
yeah.
thing about me is I'm stubborn. I I will not go to the hospital until the last possible
Yeah.
moment. That is
Yeah.
one thing about me.
I just yeah. Okay. Answer this. Or finish the quote. Okay. Finish the quote. Despite
Mhm.
having sickle cell.
Despite having sickle cell, I made it through school.
Ooh,
Despite
that was
having sickle
good.
cell, I made it through school. I despite knowing that I would go to the hospital every single school year, I still applied to college. I still went to college. And surprisingly, I didn't go to the hospital all but once in my 5 years in college. And I
That's awesome.
graduated. It might have been during 2020, and graduation might have been like just getting my diploma in the mail.
Mhm.
But I graduated and I will always be proud of that. I'm
Okay.
happy that the worst part of my sickle cell didn't happen until after
Right.
because now I at least have, my high school diploma, my
Right.
college diploma. I went for 5 years. That's
Congrats.
impressive.
It is. That's
Five
very
years.
impressive. Yeah. So your life has changed like tremendously since 2020, or would you say?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's
Okay.
really night and day.
Hmm.
Had to get rid of my car. My license is basically
Yeah.
useless. I walk with a walker in the
Mm-hmm.
house. I have a wheelchair when I leave.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but before that, I was doing anything and everything you can think of. I'm a
Yeah.
big music person. I've been growing up on music my entire life. And so I went to school for music. And let me tell you, I have no idea how I did it. It was music, like people think that music majors are really easy, but it's not an easy major. People should get that out of their heads. It's
Mhm.
you have to take 9 to 13 classes a semester,
Oh wow.
um, which it takes up a lot of your time on top of having to practice
Hmm.
um, for all of your classes and making sure you get your gen eds done with all of the piles of homework that they give you. Because your gen
Hmm.
eds think that, oh, you only have like 3 classes your semester, so
Yeah.
you have all of this time in the world. No, I don't. I would start the day at 8 a.m. and end the day at 8 p.m. Like it would be a long day. And I did
Yeah.
it. And I'm really proud of myself for doing it. But
Yeah.
now I couldn't get through 2 classes
Yeah.
if I went to college right now,
Yeah.
which really, really sucks. Like my whole body hurts. My doctors
Mhm.
think I have complex or yeah, I think it's complex regional pain syndrome. I might have gotten the name wrong.
Mhm.
But basically in 2020, I got into a car crash and I have
Mhm.
been in a lot of pain ever since.
Mhm.
So I have that on top of sickle cell at the same time.
Mhm. I mean, that does
So
not feel good. Yeah.
no, it's
Mhm.
chronic pain on top of chronic pain, and
Mhm.
they are all at the same time all the time. I can't tell what's CRPS and what's sickle
Mhm.
cell, and
Mhm.
it's a lot. I'm tired. I
Yeah.
am so tired all the
Yeah.
time. I miss being able to walk. I miss
Mhm.
being able to drive. I miss being able to make appointments. and
Yeah.
know that I can get to my appointment and not have to go, well, are you working or are you working or are you working? Can you take me? Are you able to take me?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
think what set off this depressive state, which, people with disabilities are used to, is I had done a riding service for the hospital.
Hmm.
That riding service is more like Uber, sort of. And one day I had an infusion appointment, and the driver was awful. The
Hmm.
driver had no idea he was taking me to the hospital in the first place.
What?
The driver got lost multiple times to the point where I had to give him the directions to the hospital
Mhm.
myself, even though I had
Wow.
no idea where we are because he went
Wow.
so far from the hospital. And
Mhm.
I ended up, I think, an hour or two late. But then, because I got to the hospital, I needed, um, and by the way, I left early.
Mhm.
The man picked me up around 6:45. My appointment was at 8 in the morning.
Wow.
Um, and yet I got there around 9 or so, I
Mhm.
think. And then I needed somebody to bring me up because I don't have the strength to wheel myself up to the 8th floor.
Mhm.
And the hallways are super long.
Yeah.
So I don't have the strength to go through. I can like push myself maybe like 4 or 5 times before I'm like done and I'm
Yeah.
in pain. So I had to wait for transport to bring me upstairs. They were about an hour and a half late. I was so late, and like there was also like a mishap on like who on what the which doctor was supposed to take care of it. And at that point I was like, I was done.
Yeah.
And I was sad ever since. And that like was a slow, it was a slow but also quick spiral downwards,
Mhm.
because I was like, wow, I can't take care of myself. I can't, I have to depend on other people to live.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
that's where it kind of went downhill. Um,
Mhm.
because um, because I was just like, I used to be able to take care of myself. I
Mhm.
used to be able to not have to depend on people. Like that day was the scariest day of my life.
Mhm.
I was like, what if I really needed to go to the ER and I used the ride
Yeah.
service? Like,
Yeah.
what would have happened then? Like, I would have just stayed in that car. Like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been able to communicate well. I was like, I couldn't.
Mhm. Yeah.
And
So are
like,
you doing anything now to like try to get you, back right and back to, where you can function and all that? Like take it day by day or
oh yeah, very much day by day. The every day is at least eat and take my meds.
hey, you
That is
gotta start somewhere.
where
Yeah.
I'm starting right now. So
That's good.
I'm making sure I eat, I take my meds. My mom made infusion appointments and took that day off, so she or somebody could take me.
All right.
Um, so my I'm gonna take I'm gonna do those appointments. I also
Mhm.
have to do physical therapy, I think tomorrow. So I'll
Okay.
be doing that. So just eating, taking
Mhm.
my meds, and
Mhm.
getting to appointments. That's all
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
about. I have like wipes that my mom's a nurse, so my mom was able to know what wipes are good.
Mm.
Um, so I've been using wipes to
Mm.
wash myself occasionally
Mhm.
until I'm ready to get in the shower again.
Yeah.
Um, so I've been doing a lot of that. I don't care if I'm ordering food anymore. I'm just like, screw the healthy diet. We're just gonna order
Mhm.
from, right now. I just got myself some nuts because
Okay.
I'm hungry and I
Yeah.
don't have much food in my room at the moment. I have like a
Right.
microwave and
Mhm.
a fridge to help me, but I
Mhm.
haven't been keeping up with that. So fast
Yeah.
food it is for now, and
Hey,
eating something is better than nothing.
for
So
sure. Your physical therapy, are you starting that? Is it new or have you been doing it?
I was doing it for about a year and a half or so.
Mm-hmm.
My pain started to get worse at the end of last year. So
Mm-hmm.
I hadn't done physical therapy in about almost a year, actually. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going back because I'm signing up for disability. Um, and I'm hoping that they can, help write down proof that I really need disability right now because
Mm-hmm.
I haven't been able to work or keep a
You
steady
don't get
job.
disability?
No, not at
What?
all.
Are
I
you
don't have
serious?
disability. Nope.
Oh yeah, you gotta call them because
Yeah.
if you're supposed to be getting disability, they maybe don't want to give it to you because they owe you back pay. They probably owe you so much back pay because that's what they did to me. Wow, that is that you need to make sure you stay on them.
Yeah. I started like finding out that I could sign up for disability about a year or so ago.
Oh
Didn't
wow, yeah.
like well my entire life because of how like non-sick I was,
Hmm.
nobody would offer me anything. I
Yeah.
like because I was going to the hospital once a year, I just wasn't sick
Mhm.
enough for anything. But
Yeah.
now I'm always in
Yeah.
the hospital. I can't work.
Yeah.
So my
Yeah.
social workers were like, you can sign up for disability, right? And I
Right.
was like, I can.
Yeah. They
And
probably owe you about $30,000 by now. How old are you? 25?
I'm 26.
You're 26? Oh yeah, they
Yeah.
probably you owe at least a few $1,000. That's crazy. No,
I
seriously,
I
for real, that's
started
crazy.
I think I was finally able to get an application in
Mm-hmm.
about a couple months ago because if you're sick and always in and out of the hospital, how are you supposed to fill out that application? Like
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't until my mom was able to finally help me with the application that I got one in. I got denied SSDI because I haven't worked enough. So I am eligible for SSI, and that's what I'm trying to go for.
Mm-hmm.
And right now it's saying because of how much I made at my last job, because it was a good job, it paid pretty well. So
Mm-hmm.
they're saying I could get $300 a month.
Dang, yeah, you gotta quit. You don't work now though, right?
Nope, I don't
Yeah,
work anymore.
don't
I haven't
yeah,
worked since last year, so I don't know how it'd be allotted $300.
yeah,
So
you should at least get the max is what 850, 900 a month. So
yeah,
yeah.
300 is what my mom gives me every month. Like my
Yeah.
mom gives me a little bit of money every single month just so I could
Yeah.
do some things on my own, but
Hmm.
like that's basically what my mom gives me. Like
Right.
that,
Yeah.
that's not gonna make a difference really.
Yeah. Make sure you
I
stay
have
on
to get
them, please.
more.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
should probably be getting more than 800 a month because Massachusetts is expensive.
Yeah. Look at
Massachusetts, if
that.
you want a one bedroom or apartment, it's like $1,300 a month for yourself.
Where you at? California?
No,
Goodness
I live in
gracious.
Massachusetts.
Wow.
Massachusetts is expensive. My boyfriend and I have been trying to find a place forever, but since he's the main income,
Uh-huh.
we can't really get like a two-bedroom place
Yeah. Yeah.
because he can't afford more than like I don't know 1,100 a month on his own.
Yeah.
But there's not an apartment in the world here
Man.
that
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
cheap.
Get that
So
disability, please. They are holding out
I'm
on you.
working on it. I am working on it, and the
Yeah.
government better not shut down because I swear if they do, that disability is going to take even longer.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
Um,
trying. I try. It's hard.
you got it. You got it. I got faith in you. You got it, man. Trust me. You got it. You got to start somewhere. One more question for you. How has sickle cell affected your life in a positive way? We're gonna end on a
Um.
positive note.
Oh yeah. So for me, it's honestly helped me work harder. I
Hmm.
just got a my grandmother was trying to help me get out of my depressive state, and she was just like, "This isn't you. You don't give up."
Hmm.
I've never given up.
Yeah.
Never, ever, ever given up. So I'm
Yeah.
trying not to. With
Yeah.
sickle cell, it's taught me to work harder. It's taught
Hmm.
me that, there's anything and everything for me.
Hmm.
Um, it doesn't matter if I have sickle cell or not. Um, and sickle cell honestly has taught me I deserve everything just as much as the able-bodied person over there. Um, since I love music, when I
Mm-hmm.
found out that T-Boz had sickle cell from TLC,
Mm-hmm.
I knew that sickle cell would never stop me
Mm-hmm.
from following my dreams. I've had people tell me that I should go for something else,
Mm-hmm.
but I always remember T-Boz in the back of my head and I never stopped. And I still haven't.
That's
I'm
good.
trying to get better so I can go back to school. I
Mm-hmm.
want to become a music therapist
Okay.
and I want to help others with sickle cell or others with disabilities or really bad mental health through music.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and
That's a
I'm
good
not,
idea. You should do that. There's nobody doing that. You should definitely do that.
yeah,
That's nice.
I met a
Wow.
few music therapists in the hospital, but I know there's not going to be that many people for us. So
Yeah.
I'm still working towards it. I refuse to let this stop me. I'm always thinking when I go back to school, when I go back to school, not
Yeah.
if,
Yeah,
when.
man. Mm,
It will never stop me.
mm,
Never let sickle cell stop you
for
because you
sure.
can definitely do anything you want to. If there could be football players and musicians and doctors and nurses with sickle cell, then we can do it too.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. You say your grandmama told you not to give up?
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. That's
Yeah,
nice. That's nice. Yeah. You should
she
definitely look into that. Yeah.
yeah, she has cancer, so she's like, if I'm not getting up at
Mm,
60 odd years, you're not
yeah.
giving up. And she
Yeah.
believes
Definitely.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's awesome. I'm so glad you have support and you're not just by yourself. And now you got me and you can text me
thank you.
anytime because I know how it is. Trust me. And thank you so much for opening up and telling your story. You're gonna help so many younger like females or males that's going through the same thing because mental health wasn't yesterday mental health awareness. I
Was
think
it? No, oh, actually, I don't know. There are so many national days. I can't
it
keep up.
is.
I know today is National Coming Out Day,
Oh, it
and I
is.
took up on
Okay.
social media and they said it, and I was like, oh yeah. But I
Okay.
do know the project that I'm working on.
Yeah.
Um, hopefully, I can get it started and rolling by next year. But if
Okay.
not, it will come out during July of 1 year because that is
Okay.
Disability Month, and
Okay.
that's the best month to release it.
Do you have a name for it yet, or
I'm not saying the name yet because people like
okay?
to steal. People
You're
like to
right.
steal in this world.
I would have bleeped it out for you, but you're right. You are absolutely right.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Hey, whatever you do, invite me on. I'm gonna come on, please. Don't forget about me.
I
And
won't. I see when you
yeah,
post stuff. I share it every single time. Whether I get the chance to see it or not, I'm going to share it no matter what.
you
So
do. I really appreciate you.
mhm,
You do. You really do.
we
And
got to help each other out here.
for sure, for sure, for sure. You got my word. I'm gonna help you out with it, whatever that I can help you out with. But let you understand. Thank you so much for everything and opening up. I know it wasn't easy, and depression is always tough. Mental health is always tough, and you got a friend in me. So all the way in North Carolina, I got your back.
Oh, I'm actually going to be there in next month.
For what?
My family's down there. My dad's side of the family lives down there. I'm going to be there
Really?
for Thanksgiving. Yeah, my grandmother, the one that told me not to give up, lives right
Yeah.
there in North Carolina.
Hey, when you come, if we close, I'm gonna come see
Okay.
you for Thanksgiving. Got my word. So, anything else you would like to say, or anything else?
The only parting word is really just don't give up. I'm
There you go.
trying to follow my own advice, but don't give up.
Yeah, it's hard, but yes, don't give up. Yep, that's don't give up. You're right. You're absolutely right. So,
We can't let sickle cell win. We just can't.
no, no, we cannot, and it won't win. It's hard, but we won't. It won't. But Lynette, again, thank you so much, and I'll be uploading this tonight if that's okay with you.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, and I'll be sending you a clip, so you can promote if you want to. I'll send you a new
Mhm.
flyer and everything, and whenever you're ready for your, business, send it to me and I'll post it. We're gonna
Mhm.
support each other. But thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, of course.